Choose read to me to hear.
Peter, Benjamin and I were racing through the woods away from the dastardly Mr. Todd. Mr. Todd was hungry and wanted to catch us for his supper. Rabbits are brave, Benjamin told himself. But he was worried. How would we get away? Peter realised we were close to our treehouse in the squirrel camp. We could hide up there. Can you find the lift to our treehouse? Quick, head to the lift, shouted Peter. Can you help us get up into the treehouse? Swipe your finger upwards to make the lift go up. Hooray! Yay! We ascended up, and away into the trees. By the time Mr. Todd caught up with us, we had disappeared. Where did the rabbits go? Mr. Todd wondered. Rabbits can't disappear into thin air, he shouted as he looked around the base of the tree. Mr. Todd had no idea that we were right above his head. High up in the squirrel camp, Peter, Benjamin and I giggled as we told our friend Squirrel Nutkin about our daring escape. That was a close one, recalled Peter. Nutkin listened intently as he juggled hazelnuts very high in the air. Can you help Nutkin juggle the hazelnuts? Use your finger to spin the hazelnuts around. We were very impressed. That's nothing, watch this, said Squirrel Nutkin as he threw one nut into the air and tried to catch it in his mouth. But he missed. The nut fell to the ground, bounced and landed right in the gears of the camp's lift. Oh no, not again, sighed Nutkin. He bounced over to the nut and started to pull. But it was stuck. Quick, let's help him, said Peter, and we began to pull. Can you tap on Nutkin's hazelnut to release it from the gears? Pop! We pulled so hard that the nut sprang high into the air, but so did all the gears. Without the gears to hold it in place, the lift fell to the ground and landed with a crash! Meanwhile, back on the ground, Mr. Todd had a curious sound, like something very big falling. Yow! He shouted as he looked up and saw a big wooden lift falling right on top of him. Can you swipe Mr. Todd to move him away from the falling lift? He leapt to safety just as the lift crashed to the ground. What on earth? Rabbits! This is something to do with the rabbits. I'd better stay close to this tree. No doubt they'll be back soon, schemed Mr. Todd as he sat himself down to wait for our return. Back in the squirrel camp, we were worried. Without the lift, we'll be stuck up here forever, said Benjamin. We'll never be able to get down, I said. Never say never. We'll find a way, said Peter. Let's check out my dad's journal. I'm sure there will be something in there that can help us. Can you tap on Peter's satchel to find the journal? Here it is. Let's look through it now, said Peter. Can you swipe the pages of the journal to help us find a way out of the squirrel camp? Peter said, very interesting, but let's keep going. More maps. Try the next page. Peter found a page on how to make a lift. This was just what we needed to save the day. We looked around the camp to find the objects for their new lift. I spied something we could ride in. Can you find something we could ride in? Brilliant! You helped me find a bucket. We can use that to ride up and down. Peter looked for a wheel, but he couldn't see one in the camp. Peter knew a wheel was really just a circle, so he looked for something that was shaped like a circle. Can you find something that is shaped like a circle in the squirrel camp? The barrel is like a wheel. It has a circle shape. We could use that, said Peter. We assembled the lift and the squirrels used their strength to hold the rope, ready to lower us. Can you swipe the lift to help lower us down to the ground? We glided down on our new lift and soon we were happily on the ground. But we didn't see that behind the lift, Mr. Todd lay asleep at the base of the tree. He awoke with a start. Wah! Where did you come from? Never mind. Come here, Mr. Todd shouted as he headed straight for the lift. We were trapped! Quick, everyone jump! Peter yelled. Can you tap on each of us to get us to safety? We leapt from the lift, just as Mr. Todd dove right into it. Mr. Todd was now stuck in the bucket. Blast! Get me out of this thing, shouted Mr. Todd. No way, Mr. Todd. In fact, I've a brilliant idea to send you far away, said Peter. Can you help us push the bucket? Mr. Todd rolled away and out of sight. He won't bother us any more today, said Peter. Who knew a lift could be so handy, I laughed. I'm just glad to be on the ground. Is it time to go home yet? Said Benjamin. We all laughed. Come on, let's hop to it, said Peter, as we hopped our way home after a day of adventures. What was Squirrel Nutkin juggling? Balls, hazelnuts, radishes.
That's right.
What did Peter use to find a way of making a lift? The journal, Nutkin's house, the map.
That's right.
What did Mr. Todd get stuck in? The bucket, the barrel, a hole.
That's right.
How do you think Peter's dad learned how to make a lift?
The end. Choose Read Again